Good morning. Welcome back. It's been a while. Look, it's been a few months off, but it's time to cruise again. We gotta go again. It's time. And this time, we're doing something new again. Currently in Orlando, Florida, after some interesting events last night that we were supposed to be staying near Cape Canaveral, but our Airbnb got canceled last minute, so we ended up having to find a place here in Orlando. We had a very interesting experience here. There was some major parties going on in this neighborhood. Anyways, we are going over to Port Canaveral here in just a minute to get on the MSC Grandiosa. This is her second ever American-based voyage, and we're going to hit up some cool places, a couple places we've never been before. We're going down to Cozumel, we're going to Grand Cayman, Montego Bay, and Nassau. It's going to be a great time. We're going to have a fun time checking out a new cruise line we've never been on before with MSC. We've heard some really good things. We've heard some not so great things. So what will it be? We're going to go find out. We're going to check out some new ports, have an amazing time. Going to go get breakfast now, and then we're going to head over there to Port Canaveral. So come on, let's go have some, hopefully, a really great week together. This Airbnb had a pool table. However, there was no tips on the pool sticks. And there was no light out here, so when we got here last night, couldn't even enjoy it. Come on, do better. Really wasn't anywhere local near our accommodations, so we ended up over here at IHOP for breakfast. Make the best of it. Went with the burrito. Right back. All right, next up, Port Canaveral. There's our first look. There she is, the MSC Grandiosa, right next to the Disney ships. Alright, we're here. This is by far the most hectic and stupid check-in I have seen of a cruise yet. More details once we get on side. So there were a lot of reports last week that for the first voyage here in America, that there was a lot of problems with check-in. And I mean, I don't know how it is compared to last week, but this is a very long line to get in the building, a very long line to check in once you're inside. I would say this is probably the worst I've seen of any of our cruises we've ever done. Alright, so that took exactly 30 minutes to get through that line. But we have now been here right an hour and a half total since we dropped bags. And we're just now walking towards the gangway. So, long check-in process. And here we finally go. Looks like we're getting some water delivered too. One of my favorite places on earth, the gangway, because that means it's vacation time. We are almost there. So close. Looky, looky. Off the gangway. And on board. Interesting, you got hit with having to scan your boarding pass again as soon as you step off the gangway. That's different. Hey, we're on board. We'll have plenty of time to check all of this out at some other point, but this really is beautiful in here, to be honest. This is really cool. Alright, it seems we are docked next to the Disney Treasure. We've got Carnival Ship and Explorer. On the other side over there, I know we've got the Carnival Mardi Gras and Celebrity Apex as well, but these are right outside here. We've come over here to get Lily Girl registered for the Kids Club in their Sportsplex, which is kind of nice. It's indoors. Made it around to the other side and way down there. That one is the Carnival Mardi Gras. Who has seen our Carnival Mardi Gras vlogs? That's a good question. Oh my, Florida. I know why so many people move here. All right, now we've officially started the cruise. Y'all, we've been roaming the ship for about an hour trying to figure out where the water slides are at. I've never been this confused on a ship in my life. Things are just not where they say they're supposed to be on the maps, and the app is terrible. It took almost an hour, but we finally found them. Two little small staircases that get up here, and that's it, and that's not marked anywhere. Just gotta figure it out. You know, we've done Carnival Mardi Gras, we've done Oasis class ships, we've done Freedom class ships, we've done Quantum class, etc., etc. That is one thing that the Oasis class ships on Royal Caribbean, and I assume Icon class as well, does the best, is that all of this stuff is on the same deck as the pool deck. It's right by it. You don't have to go anywhere else. You don't have to figure it out. It's all right there on the same deck. And it just makes sense. And there goes the Disney treasure. I believe that means we are next. Unfortunately, we gotta get ready to go down for dinner because we have the 5 o'clock dinner, so we might miss sail away this time. All right, we're sitting down at dinner. Interesting observation. We have cans of soda, which is just interesting for a dinner, dining room. Oh well. All right, so of note, after looking at the menu, yeah, we'd heard a lot of people talk about the food is interesting on MSC because it's obviously a European line. I didn't really think our menu for the adults was very European. I mean, you had lasagna, you had fried chicken, you had prime rib stuff I feel like you see on Royal and Carnival. However, kids menu, very European. Like, literally didn't feel like there was anything we could order for Lily that she was going to eat. I'm not sure what kind of, like, as an American, think about a kids menu that doesn't have French fries, doesn't have mac and cheese, doesn't have chicken nuggets. Which, I mean, first world problems, but those are the things that my 53-year-old eats. Instead, they had like soups, and they had like a margarita pizza, and it was in a very thick pamphlet that obviously they've just reused. So it's very interesting that that's super European. All right, so we're starting this off with a meatball, and then I got lasagna for my entree. So we're going Italian tonight. A little lasagna. And cheesecake with ice cream to top it off. All right, dinner's done. I would give it, let's say 7 out of 10 for the first night. Appetizer was really good. Lasagna was, dessert was as well. Service though was pretty good. We were in and out in just over an hour, so that's a good thing. So, let's see what the rest of the night gets into. And while we were at dinner, we have sailed away. Although we were about an hour late leaving. Don't know why. Look, we got some birdies leading the way for us. Oh, one took off. Interesting. Alright, so one of the things about this buffet, or the ship in general, is that the buffet advertises a family and kids buffet section. So we came up here after dinner to see if it'd be any different than like what the main dining room had. We've got fish sticks, we have an interesting mac and cheese, mashed potatoes, cold cuts, fruits, desserts, and that is literally it. That's pretty sad. And I mean, these mashed potatoes look rough. This mac and cheese is not good, and they have fish sticks. So again, interestingly, they have no chicken nuggets anywhere on the ship. Which feels like that's a pretty standard thing, but interesting. Well, the wind sure picked up tonight out here on the pool deck. Alright, we made it over here to the theater for whatever they've got. I think it's called ABBA tonight, so we'll see what this is about. I don't know if it's just because I haven't cruised in a while or what, but I swear we're moving a lot tonight. Like, I feel like we're rocking it a lot. So maybe I just got to get my sea legs back, but it feels bumpy so far. Complaints I've seen about MSC is that their shows are at best, but
but the paid shows are supposed to be better. That was a free show. It was like an ABBA show or like just an 80s music pool thing. Not for me. Didn't think there was a lot to it. The promenade is thumping though. There's supposed to be some sort of thing going on here in about 15 minutes, so we'll check that out next. All right, so right out here, there's this display only bar. What purpose does this serve? It's just taking up a bunch of space, and there's another one on the other side over there too. Like, what a waste of space, literally. Alright, so that was the outer space dance party or something like that. It was pretty interesting. That sky thing that they have here, it reminds me of Fremont Street in Vegas, where the overhead screens and everything like that is really cool, actually. My gut tells me they're not going to use that as much as they should throughout this cruise, but we'll see. Walked out, cut through the casino right there, and surprisingly small casino. Like, that might be the smallest casino I've ever seen at sea. And they've got all your traditional stuff and everything, but I'm surprised by how small it is, especially because there's a really long walkway to get into it and out of it. It just feels like a lot of empty space compared to other ones that I've seen. So I'll probably end up back in there at some point this week, though. As we're starting to wind down the night here, I've popped into the safari pool, which is the indoor pool thing where the roof opens, whatever. It's kind of a solarium-ish vibe, if you will. Although at 10:30 everything is already closed over. All the pools seem to be closed. So quick thoughts real quick after day one and comparison to some of the past cruises we've been on. The MSC Grandiosa is a very nice ship. It's very clean. Like, it's very visually nice. I like some of the way things look in here. There seems to be multiple spaces of like wasted space, like just giant gaps with nothing there, where they could be filled with other things, like entertainment or even just seating, like just lots of random open walkways with nothing there. The promenade with the overhead ceiling that lights up is super cool. However, the actual like features of the promenade, the shops and everything, are kind of a letdown because the upper level is like all your specialty restaurants and then the karaoke bar and the pub, I believe. But then everything on the lower level is either upcharge ice cream places or chocolate places or just shops. Like there's no, I guess I'm just used to there being a Sorrento's there, if you will. Or even like the cafe promenade, or just a quick bite, something that you could eat or grab a drink from or anything. There's not even a bar on the lower level, so interesting there. I feel like there was really not a ton of activities going on this evening as well. There was one show that was repeated 3 times in the main theater, and that was it, other than karaoke and a few like live music. They had that thing on the promenade, the dance party, if you will, but not a lot of entertainment options like shows or things going on. So we'll see. It's been very difficult to get around the ship. I don't know why it's taking me it's been hard to get my bearings on the ship. The little touch screens that are around the ship that kind of tell you where you are, some of them are not right. Like they're not factually right, which is wild. We roamed the ship for almost an hour trying to find water slides because we would look at the little screens and they would tell us we were one place and we were not in that place. At MSC's app, that Carnival may be the Walmart ship of the seas, but MSC has the Walmart app of the seas. In fact, they might have the Dollar Tree app of the seas because their app, and excuse my language, but it is ass. Their app is trash. It doesn't half work. Like, I have to keep closing out of the app.
the map is just terrible. So definitely a big thumbs down on that. Their app is just not good. Also super thumbs down on the food for kids. No issues with the food for adults after day one. In fact, I thought our dinner was pretty decent. We even popped to the buffet. There were a lot of options for adults. That's a common complaint about MSC is the food. But it's very clear it seems very clear they adopted a menu for America when they came over for adults. However, they did not do that for kids. There's very few restaurants in all of America that don't even have chicken nuggets for kids. And when they brought out this like booklet, and maybe I'll try to get it on film later this week, with the kids menu, it's very clear that's the same book that's been used on repeat for years. And I would not consider that to be stuff that most American kids eat. So we'll see how that goes for the rest of the week. That could prove to be a challenge for us, having a picky eating child. And again, as I said earlier, that's a first world problem. I get it. We'll just have to figure that one out. So I'm gonna wrap up. I'm gonna go check out the midnight buffet here real quick and just see what all they have on that. Maybe try a piece of this pizza they claim is so good. And then that'll be it in for tonight. Tomorrow is a day at sea, and we'll just make that a pool day. So let's go check out the midnight buffet and then call it a night from there.
I don't even know if you'll be able to hear me or not because it's so windy out here, but this is a perfect example of what I was trying to say about lack of activities. On any other ship, there would have been a movie or something playing out here tonight, or there would have been like one of the college football playoff games, not playoffs, but bowl games or something. But this screen has literally been on this blue MSC screen all night. Actually, things been like this all day. Like, what are we doing? How hard is it to play a movie?
All right, I waited about, I'd say 5 minutes for one slice of cheese pizza. We're going to give this a shot and see how it is, but there was quite a wait for pizza. So, I get it. They're hand making these. They're tossing. They're not like frozen ones like Sorrento's where they can just pop them out, in 30 seconds and keep the line moving. But it was interesting to see that there was quite a wait for pizza, and there was an even longer wait if you want a pepperoni. So let's see how good this is. Also, one other thing, all they have over there to drink is water and iced tea. Like, there's nowhere that I've seen on board to get a soda if you have the non-alcoholic package other than at a bar. Like, there's no freestyle machines, there's no soda fountains anywhere, and even if you go to a bar, they still give you a can. So it's just very different from what we're accustomed to. It was good pizza. I'm not gonna lie, it was good pizza. I'm not sure that's better than Carnival's though, at least on a Mardi Gras. They had, I think, the best pizza I've ever had on board or anywhere. I'd say 8 out of 10. Yeah, 8 out of 10. Would I prefer to wait for this 5 to 10 minute line over 30 seconds to a minute at Sorrento's on Royal Caribbean? No. At 11:30 at night, when you just want something to eat, I'd rather have something quick, to be honest with you. Alright, that is going to do it for day one here on the MSC Grandiosa. Come on back tomorrow. We're going to have a fun sea day. Hopefully get into the pool, maybe check out the water slides, see how everything's going as we're making our way down to Cozumel. So, I know I feel like I've probably been kind of critical today. Some of that may be well earned, but I really don't want to judge a book by its cover. I really want to get through to later in the cruise to give everything kind of a good overall
view of everything. As we all know, day one on the cruise, of any cruise, is usually not the best day. There's a lot going on. It's very hectic. So I really want to get towards the end till we give kind of a good review, kind of full judgment on everything. So come on back. That'll start tomorrow, and let's have a good sea day.